Hello, fellow Hyruleians! I am your guide, the Hyrule Historian, and welcome back to the Legend of Blue, the Wind Waker Randomizer, where today we are teaming back up with Red here, and we are about to be sailing off to a handful of locations, which, honestly, I haven't been showing this off as much, but here is the tracker that we have been using. I have just recently updated it, and as you can see, there is still quite a few things here on Windfall, and a lot of this stuff we kind of did a few of them in the last episode, and today I was thinking it would be good enough to go ahead and go to some submarines or to some of those platforms and even check a few islands that may have some chests, since a lot of the chests that we need are just right up north of us. So it would really help, and then we can make our way probably to Dragon Roost Island, since that's the easiest dungeon to get to, and see what dungeon that actually turns out to be, since the dungeons are randomized and we are not sure what we will be coming across. So I'm looking for any islands. We need certain bombs or arrows to get through one. So here's actually one of the lookout platforms, but I am not sure if we need bombs to blow up any cannons. One thing that I truly have trouble with when it comes to this game is a little bit of the sensitivity with the controller, especially since this is the randomizer and I'm having to use a 360 controller. And honestly, when it comes to this, we just need to climb up here and defeat all the enemies. Some of these platforms you need to destroy the cannons. However, this one looks like we just need to defeat the enemies. And I'm not really sure what they do here, besides just, I guess this is a platform where Ganon's troops can actually look off towards Dragon Roost or Windfall Island. But here is the first chest for this episode. And hopefully it is something good, and the Naru's Pearl is one of the best things that we could get, because if we get Naru's Pearl plus other two, Pharaoh's Pearl and Din's Pearl, we can unlock the Tower of the Gods. So this actually helps, and we would have got this by Jaboon. Sadly, when it comes to the randomizer, we will not see him at all. But that is something good to actually start off this episode. So, let's actually see what's in these pots. Guess we don't really need rupees. I guess if we really felt like it, we could probably end this episode off by returning to the auction house and seeing what we can find there. That was a decent drop, though. Okay, so we are now going to be heading up north, since I believe not only will we find the Crescent Moon Island that should have a chest there, we will also probably find a submarine nearby. And speaking of the submarine, since we have not checked this in the last episode, we actually got the submarine chart as well with several treasure charts, which a lot of these treasure charts are not useful. They will help us collect rupees and whatnot, but let's check the submarine chart. So yes, there is one submarine above us, one above Windfall. So yeah, we should be able to do a few submarines this episode to see what they actually have. So Okay, so apparently we're doing a small challenge and seeing how many rupees we can collect. But with the Swift Sell, it kind of makes it slightly difficult. I've actually lost where we was going. Well, speaking of submarines, I think that is... No, that is, in fact, a Great Fairy Island. That's one thing about Wind Waker is that it's really easy to lose what direction you are going into. And half the time, I am not able to read the compass, since it's always not in the best location for me. However, this is one of the fairy fountains that's already opened with the Ho-Ho guy, or man with the telescope. So, I really think they do call him the Ho-Ho guy, because he's just one guy, or many brothers, who loves using the telescope. So, our first fairy fountain. What will we get? And the fairies are quite different when it comes to Wind Waker, and I'm not really sure about their look, but I feel like a lot of people like them. Especially when you compare them to the ones from Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Young Waker of the Wind, allow me to aid you in your quest. Why do I have this voice? That is a good question. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Should have seen this coming. I really should have. I mean, I mentioned this in the past. So, because... Okay, let's see. The fairies in this fountain shall ease your weakness when you grow fatigued from battles. Come here to be refreshed. But, as I was getting to, when it comes to the randomizers, and I was playing the Link to the Past randomizer on my main channel, you can expect a lot of that. Going to a place that you will expect to get a useful item, and yeah, just get almost nothing in return. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but it's like going to a like certain cave within Link to the Past. I was supposed to get, I forget what item, but it turned out to be like 5 rupees. So yeah. So not only do we have the first fairy fountain, but here is our first submarine. And you can tell that there's going to be a lot of trials here. And this is just exactly like the pirate ship, except controlled by moblins. And as I've kind of mentioned in the last episode, I was playing through Mario Sunshine, and because Wind Waker only came out like, I want to say a year after Mario Sunshine, I feel like the graphics are slightly the same. I mean, Mario Sunshine isn't as cartoonish, but well, I think I've been caught. My rupee. I must act. Don't. Why did you target onto him? Why? blue! Ugh. Embarrassing. So attempt number 2. They didn't expect to see me so soon. But I wanted to actually talk about, like, saying how the different GameCube games are, like, experimental, and that it feels like when it comes to Wind Waker and Mario Sunshine, they hold kind of a graphic issue, which for me, it's more of like the depth perception. You think that that rope is a lot closer than it looks, so you don't swing as far, or it moves slightly like that, and well, here you are going to be fighting a lot of moblins again. And I think one moblin just hit the other. But here we are, we have finally made it to this chest. It better be worth it. Amazing! Yes. So, we have just earned ourselves the iron boots, which will allow us to sink a lot faster. This is actually pretty good. Now I can release my rage out on all these moblins. This was not the plan for this episode. However, we did succeed in our mission. I will be back for my revenge one day. So, this is in fact the Wind Temple, where we need the iron boots for. And if I can angle the camera correctly, that is exactly what we need the iron boots for. Because all that wind. But it doesn't help us without having something to destroy the pathway, where we can actually enter the Wind Temple. I mean, it kind of makes sense that that's the Wind Temple, since it's the only island with a lot of wind blowing. Oh, and here's our stop. And yeah, that's just a quick trick that you may need to know when you're doing a randomizer, or at least playing the HD version. Have the Wind Waker out just in case. And what will we receive? Pretty much the Mask of Truth, because it allows you to see the health of each enemy. And off in the distance, we can find ourselves another submarine, which, will it be as difficult as the last one? Probably not. I'm just probably playing poorly. Trying to think of things to talk about while playing. I feel like that's not something a lot of people understands, is whenever... Oh great, this one. The meaningless. Whenever you're playing and trying to commentate at the same time, you're pretty much trying to think of things to talk about, and then things that you need to do on the screen. Such as, I'm fighting meaningless, which, not exactly their names. But our main task is to destroy as many as we can. However, downside to this is, the more that we defeat, the more that shows up. Oh, come on, that just... Give me that heart. I am not letting the meaningless defeat me. Grabbing the chests before they can. Beetle's ship chart. Why does the Minions want the Beetle's ship chart? Climb, Blue. Submarines apparently are my nightmare. So, actually, end this episode by returning to Windfall, and I'm going to be returning to Windfall to go to the auctions to see if we can actually collect anything useful, because we'll max out of rupees again, and we need a place to spend them. Also, we need hearts. Badly. Be right back. And we are back. And to finish it all off, we have returned to the auction house. Here again. Yes, I am. Would you like to participate in the auction? Absolutely. I'm fine with that. Very well, the auction shall begin. And today's auction item is a piece of heart. Which, it feels like we need to start collecting some of those because of how poorly I am fighting. So I will accept the piece of heart. And this is the 80 rupee prize auction item. I guess it's not really a prize unless you actually win it. Most likely going to skip ahead because I feel like you guys kind of understand how the auction works by now. And we're already up to 100 rupees. We may end up actually spending all of our rupees for this piece of heart. So we'll go ahead and charge up to the middle. And then it's just the waiting game. I mean, I may as well and make it closer like an even number. So 175 with 9 seconds to go. I feel like I can actually earn a lot of these rupees back kind of quickly, because we are going to run into a lot of places with rupees. So I'm not that worried. It's just a lot of backtracking afterwards. So Blue gains a piece of heart for the price of 175 rupees. I mean, who would want to buy a piece of a heart? But, you know, there goes all of our rupees. All of our hard-earned rupees. Well then, this was an interesting trip to say the least. However, I feel like I will be ending this episode off here while collecting a few rupees. So if you guys have enjoyed this episode, please do not forget to leave a like or a comment below. And make sure to let your friends know about this series and just allow them to know about this channel. Trying to grow a community here and to talk more about The Legend of Zelda than just the randomizers. Since randomizers are really fun to do, since it's kind of fan-made and whatnot. But I feel like just getting a community together to talk more about The Legend of Zelda is my goal at the moment. So, if you have enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you enjoy about these videos. Besides that, this has been the Hyrule Historian, and I will see you all within the next video. Thanks for watching, and later.